Hello everyone, this is Ross from retrodreambeam. I'm an eBay seller full-time. I've been doing this with my fiance Netta for more than 3 years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm about to go into what we were shipping out today on Thursday. So not a crazy amount of items, but this is still pretty good for January. I think it's like 10 items. All right, so first up is going to be this base game for the Pathfinder Adventure card game. This is going to be the Skulls and Shackles, so this is going to be the pirate version. The box is so big because you see me sell all of those expansion packs for this game. It can fit all of the expansion adventures once you get them all. So like, you know, as a bunch of cards up here and a lot of slots for future stuff. But this is going to be a co-op game, and I haven't played it yet, but it has been recommended to me by the recommend feature because we like deck builders and we like co-op games and stuff like that. So I'll eventually be able to find another one at auction. I actually forgot I had this one listed. But yeah, this one ended up going for $17.59, but you plus shipping. Everything's going to be plus shipping, so it'll save us the time right now. But you end up picking a character, and then you build your little deck, and then you go through like scenarios. There's a bunch of story to it, and it's in the Pathfinder world, which is Dungeons and Dragons 3.5 rules, kind of. But this is an actual card game. It's not like a role-playing game. All right. Next up is going to be some of these Mega Blocks Worgen Stronghold like dragon set. These are going to be a bunch of the minifigures as well as some like weapons. These were from like this fantasy dragon big set that we got. We got this big box from someone. It was the last yard sale we went to, where we were going to a bunch of places, finding nothing. And then, like, you know, it's always it's like one more stop. We do one more stop, and we found a bunch of these cool Mega Blocks and some books and like a Pokemon card. It was like a damaged Pokemon card, so it hasn't sold yet. But yeah, then I realized when I counted the pieces for the big base set, I realized there was some expansion stuff in there, or like from like, you know, smaller box sets. So I ended up separating them. That's what these bits and pieces are from. This ended up going for $10.50. Nothing too fancy. I think I paid like $2 for the whole big Lego set, or the Mega Block set. They didn't really want it. It was kind of big and cumbersome. We did ship it out, and it was a pain, but we made a bunch of money. All right, next up is going to be a Game Genic. This is going to be a convertible deck box for standard size cards. I'm nervous about this one because I had this yellow one and a pink one, and I think one other one listed. I thought they were the XL size. So Game Genic is going to be, I think, this German company that makes a bunch of good quality sleeves as well as deck boxes. People like them, but they innovate on themselves. So they'll go through cycles of products. So sometimes people want the old product. For example, someone messaged me that they wanted this one because they wanted to fit into the old Game Genic. It's called like a strong box or something like that. And then their new deck boxes don't fit in that. So there's a lot of like nuance to like deck boxes and stuff and the reasons why people buy them. I had a return on the other one that we sold, the pink one, because the person said it was not the XL. So I changed all my listings to take away the XL part. The XL part meant that it would hold double-sleeved cards within the deck box. Some people like to double-sleeve their decks. That's a whole nother conversation, not for right now. But this time I'm going for $12.24 for this, and I'm hoping this fits for the person, because if it doesn't fit for them, then someone was, you know, wrong about whether it was XL or not. All right, moving along, we have this Black Dragon Codex book. This is just going to be like a little fantasy novel. Not like a novel, it's just going to have a little bunch of information about different types of black dragons right there. So you like go through it and you read about like what, you know, kind of like if you would read like a book on like an animal or something. So that's what this is. $5 for this. All right. Next up is going to be Incomplete. Oh, I forgot to grab it. But yeah, Incomplete the Reckoners. No, it's over there. I mean, I forgot to grab it. I thought I forgot to grab it at the storage unit. I had to go back to the storage unit yesterday. So that was basically burns like 45 minutes, which is painful. But yeah, in the other room, I had listed the Reckoners was this board game. I think it was based off of a book and or a movie. It's like this dice game, and I think it's co-op. I think it's like superhero themed. I got a bunch of like bits and pieces to it. It wasn't the full game. The full game is like this big chunky box. But yeah, I have a lot of the pieces to it. The pieces sold for $20.99. I've never played it, though. I did have one person tell me that they did enjoy the game when they bought it. All right, moving along is the Pacific War book right here. Another military one. Got a bunch of these. They sell fairly often if you watch the channel enough. We got them for a relatively cheap price. This time I'm going for $6.74. We've been doing pretty good with books. I know it's only like, you know, $6.74 and $5 for the other one, but these things cost us like pennies on the dollar. So like, and we bought them a long time ago. It did not take too much time to list them. So it's, you know, the sales just keep coming in. All right. It's always like every small thing adds up. Moving along, we have Castles of Mad King Ludwig right here. I think this game is by the Jamie Stigmeyer company. I could be wrong. I can't remember what particular company made this, but it has like game trays. These are just like tiles. It's like a tile laying game. I think there's some worker placement to it. it looked like a game I would enjoy. I just never had anyone offer to teach me, and I just didn't own it because it was a little bit more expensive. Like, you know, board games can be, at least when I was collecting them, a lot more. They were like 50 or 60. They're now like 80 or 100, which is still like cheap for a lot of these games compared to, you know, someone goes to like, I don't know, a bar or something. They're probably gonna, you could probably buy 4 really expensive board games just for like one night at a bar or something like that. Or even like movies can be expensive. All right. But yeah, these pieces end up selling for, which one was it? $15 for that. So just some tiles. So maybe someone lost some of their tiles. They want extra replacements. I think they messaged me that they wanted extra replacement pieces. All right, moving along. We have 1991 Fantasy Forge Miniatures, just like a miniature company. These are going to be templates. It probably looks weird for you because it's a bunch of these clear sheets in here. And these are what people use to denote different spells and blast effects. A lot of people who play miniature games understand what templates are. You kind of like, you know, visually put it over and see like, okay, this cannonball or this fireball hit this many people, and sometimes depending on where they got hit, they get hit for more damage. You know, the center would be more, the outer edges would be less. But yeah, it's a bunch of these cutouts. There's 3 sheets in here. End up going for $13.99. All right, moving along, we have Settlers of Catan. I had like an incomplete version, but then it didn't have the base board, but it had a bunch of these tokens and pieces. So Settlers of Catan, it's a very historic board game. It's kind of like the modern, or maybe like maybe not like super modern, but like medium vintage. It was the Monopoly. So Monopoly, and then there's Settlers of Catan, where a lot of people were playing this board game, and this was the gateway into them playing other board games because they enjoyed Settlers of Catan. Very simple one, where you have a bunch of these hexes on the map with different numbers. It'll be like the numbers for rolling 2 dice, so 2 through 12, and you put little houses on the edge of them, and then every turn someone rolls the dice, and anyone who has their house on one of these resources with that number on it, they get to take that number of cards, or they get to take cards of it, and then they trade in the resources. You can see the little player cards on the back here show like the different things people can buy: a road, a settlement, a city, and a development card. So a lot of the game people have fun with it because there's verbal trading. So there's like a verbal politics between you and your friends, as well as the mechanical part of what you get to choose and purchase. But yeah, this ended up going for $13.71 for more Settlers of Catan part. Very historic for people that don't know. It is a very important board game in the board game world. All right, last up is this Celtic Bird Lavender cross crochet kit, or counted cross stitch kit. I just like crossed all the words in my head, cross stitched my brain there. But yeah, this one actually has like, it's weird because it actually has some bird seed. So this is like a little bird seed thing for birds, and then all the, like the yarn and threads right there to put it together. We used to do super well with these kits. This was actually a very old listing. I could tell what bin it was. And this ended up going for $8.92. It really depends on like what size and what image you get. Some of them can go for a lot, and they are popular. People love doing them. All right, that's everything. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. You sleepy? Did I bore you? Okay, she's sleepy. Have a good one.